nice, short, and sweet, just like 2025 was short and well, it wasn't sweet, but it was short because it seemed like it just flew the fuck by.
I mean, it could have been sweet for somebody other than you. I mean, you never. Some people might have thought it was great.
I don't know one person who thought 2025 was all that great. I really
Uh,
don't.
Jay Uso thought it was great.
Well, his bank account thought it was great, probably.
Uh, Everybody's, but all the real wrestling fans are now welcoming 2026 because he's back to tag teaming again.
We're not going to start off the Uso hate. We're not. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 2026 and welcome to
Uh,
Front Row Wrestling Podcast. I am Mr. KS. That is Chris, still hating like he was last year. Chris
thank you,
Adams.
thank you, thank you.
Now, see, I could be mean and rude and hate on your college football team who
You go right ahead. I'll go ahead and say it myself. They stunk it up in the playoff game. They lost by a touchdown. I don't know what to tell you, man. We got there first time ever, 10-2. Could have been 11-2, but hey, 10-3. I'll still take a 10-win season, first time ever. Looking forward to next year. Now it's all about basketball, and we're 14-0. So we can talk about that if you want to. I didn't think so. Okay, moving on to wrestling.
well, I just didn't want to rub in the fact that my Miami Hurricanes are moving on into the playoffs, and
They are. Absolutely are. And I congratulated you, and I congratulated old meanie Ishmael down there in Florida. I congratulated him as well, and I moved on. You know, I'm a big enough person to do that. I can do that.
well, see, I can't take it this nicely. I wanted to be mad and bum assed and upset, and I wasn't prepared for ready to move on, Chris.
Sorry, man. I don't know what to tell you. I'm a grown up. Okay. Sometimes we have to do grown up things.
Or some people can say you've been humbled.
They'd be lying to you though.
I tried, ladies and gentlemen. He just New Year, same Chris.
Not quite, but close. And anyway,
What's going on, man? How was your holidays?
um, I would like to say restful, but I think I'd be lying. It's about average, I guess. You know, I enjoyed it for the kids. Not my kids. My kids grown, but you know, all the my niece and nephews, young ones they have. I enjoyed watching them have a good time at Christmas, and of course, there's always the food, which I appreciate. Obviously, uh,
Man, I ate good between the company the workplace parties and the home cooked meals I got here. I ate. One night I ate so much I had to sit back up because I couldn't lay down. That's how much I ate. But yeah, I got to work all that off because I'm not trying to carry a lot of old weight into this year. So trying to lose some of this weight, get back to my big black self, sexy self. You know what
Hey, so we got just to get away from that real quick. We have someone named Jimmy Jordan yelling at us in the Facebook chat. I guess he's no longer banned for life, and he's back.
I'm saying? Jimmy Jordan.
Jimmy Joe, JJ.
Welcome
Only
back. Welcome back. I don't know how long he's going to be allowed to
he,
communicate through Facebook, but
as JJ, he's dynamite.
he's dynamite, as in he will blow up his own account.
Several times a year.
I think he's on account 26 by now.
Jimmy Jordan, you gotta let us know which number account it is that you're on.
I lost count, to be honest with you. I've lost count. Love the guy like a brother, but good lord, he can really piss off Facebook. I'm trying to tell you.
Gotta hurry up and make it back to us too.
Yeah, your expenses count is running low, sir. I'm just saying. So 2025, the good, the bad, the ugly. What are you glad to see that's over and gone with 2025 as far as wrestling goes, or what did you enjoy about 2025?
I mean, we got to watch John Cena make his final run, and I think some people, for the people who always wanted to heel Cena, They finally got to see that, and then before it was over with, we got to revert back to, the everyday scene that we're used to and see him go out in a way that he wanted to go out. So, I mean,
What'd you think of that hill run?
I didn't care for it. I just don't think I don't think he's a great heel.
But it's what everybody wanted for the last 20 years,
What
Chris.
they all said. They wanted to boo him and he should be heel, and I guess technically when he first started doing that Thugonomics bit,
He
you know,
was a heel, I
he
thought.
was a heel. But I mean, it was that was a little bit different because I mean, look, he's out there all smug like and smart aleck and all and everything. When he come back later on, it was just about he turned on Cody Rhodes and it was just this I don't know, like a stare, like a soulless stare, which would fall in line with The Rock wanting his soul, I guess, or something. But it was still kind of silly to me. The second heel run.
Yeah, see, and remember what I said a couple of shows ago. A couple of years before his Thugonomics run is when everybody started cheering the heels, and that's when I told you that was the beginning of there are no more heels, there are no more baby faces. You like who you like, you dislike who you dislike. There ain't no such thing as healers because you can one moment you're cheering a heel, the next moment you're booing a baby face for whatever reason. So,
Yeah.
but as far as this heel run, it was cool. I thought it was cool when the moment was cool. When it actually happened, the whole night, the whole setup, and I would say it was cool right up until WrestleMania, and then it was. I'm not gonna say I hated it, but I was like, I will say it was not what it was supposed to be, or it didn't end up how anybody wanted it to end up, or however way you want to put it. It wasn't what it was supposed to be by the end of it. But so I'm glad they didn't kind of keep going with it. They kind of just went back and then we got what we got after that, which leading up to his retirement was good. And I think I don't have a problem with his retirement match. I don't have a problem with the way he tapped out. I know people pitched and bitched a fit about it, and to those people, I say, change your diapers.
I I would like to think that the thing I shared in the Front Row Wrestling podcast group should be the end all be all to this. John Cena explains everything himself to Cody Rhodes why it ended the way it ended. And he said, even though there's a lot of people that don't like Gunther, he said Gunther gives his all in that 20 by 20 square there, and that he runs it just like a person should.
If you don't like Gunther, he's doing his job. They got what they
That's
wanted. They got what they wanted out. They wanted you to not like Gunther.
right. That's
That
another
was the whole
thing
point.
too. That's the other thing, to establish another heel for a good long time to go, and they successfully did that. And the smile on his face that they all speculated about. Everybody said, "Oh, he's smiling." Well, the reason why he's smiling is because
It was over.
no, no, no. He's smiling because it's not really a smile; it's a smirk. He's smirking because he didn't want to lose that way, and Triple H made him do this and write this nasty storyline for him going out and ruin his way out on top. He should have went out on top a winner and all this other stuff. And Cena goes on to explain in that little video clip how that wrapped up his story that they started from the beginning when he first come back. That year long story that wrapped up for him, which was you give it your all, you give it your all, you give it your all, but eventually you have to go ahead and admit you can't go any further with it, basically, and you're bowing out. And that's not word for word what he said. That's just a roundabout just way of what he was saying. So, and then he tapped out of that right there because he couldn't give. He gave till he had no more, and he couldn't give no more. He taps out of it, and bows out, and that was it. That was the whole thing. So, I not one.
What the heck?
Well, that was weird.
What was that?
I don't know, but we both disappeared.
Okay. I don't know what that was, bro. I was talking.
Yeah,
I was talking, and then you replayed yourself, and then Yeah.
Oh no, you asked me something and I was talking about all I heard was me talking. It looked like you froze for a second, and then next thing I know, it's a dark screen, and then everything's coming right back up again.
I don't know. I think we were talking about John Cena's, his reason. I think he posted in a Facebook group page, and like I was saying, was people were complaining about, the time honored tradition of losing on your way out is played out and it shouldn't be done anymore and all that stuff. But what those people are not realizing is, for one person they're leaving, but for another person they still have to come back to work. They still have to carry on a story, a character, or a persona, whatever it is they're doing. And John Cena winning is cool, sounds good, but what does that do for the guy that's still going to be here?
See, and this is what I was trying to talk about with uh I'm not going to mention names because he'll think I'm picking on him. And I'm not picking on him. I've known this guy forever. And
First name,
what that
first name is Ray, last name is Phillips.
no,
Oh,
yes, I wasn't going to say his name at all because I didn't want to draw no attention to him.
you didn't
But
say his name. You
the
didn't say
whole
his name?
the whole thing with Sting, it's great that Sting won. I guess great for him, and maybe even great for some of his fans. But what did he do for AEW out the door, going out the door? AEW did for him, but he didn't do anything for AEW. He
What did it
didn't
do? What did
establish
it, what did it
anybody.
do
I
to the
mean,
what did it do for the people they beat?
I I would have thought that if anything, they could have, depending on what direction they wanted to take Darby, if they want to take him as a heel or leave him as a hero, whatever. Sting could have done the opposite or whatever. Okay, if they want him to turn on Darby and Darby be the babyface going forward, great. He could have put him over and lost to him on the way out the door because he's the older guy at this point. He shouldn't be beating him anyway. Um, he could have done something, even if it wasn't Darby and they picked somebody else. That's still fine. But somebody who's going to be going forward on television and you know, being something to represent the company, not just any random schmo or something.
Right.
So I mean, they did good for him and sent him out on top for him, but it didn't do anything for the company on the way out the door. And Lord knows, as much as I love watching the company and everything, watching them wrestle, they need some help getting up there with some stuff. So uh, I don't know what they were thinking with that. I didn't notice. People got mad because Brock Lesnar broke the streak with the Undertaker. They hated Brock Lesnar for a while. He threw people around like sacks of potatoes for a while. Suplex City. And then all of a sudden they started liking him again because he's Suplex City. He's bad. He throws people around. Yeah. They forgot about the Undertaker bit. So they'll forget about Gunther, making Cena tap and him retiring soon. It won't take long.
As long as there's a Dave Meltzer and people like him and people who want to be him, supposedly, um, they're gonna keep that hate alive, bro. They're gonna keep it at least for the next 10, 15 years. They're gonna keep that hate alive. I'm just saying.
I mean, and they probably will, but and that's fine. But I mean, whatever is going to float their boat at the end. The start of the year, if we're talking WWE, start of the year came out pretty good for some of the people. I mean, this is what,
especially
even though I didn't like Jey Uso as an individual,
say it.
I didn't like Uso as an individual, but hey, the man won the Royal Rumble, and who helped put him over in the Royal Rumble too, by the way?
John Cena.
There's another one he gave that rub to in the way during his final run. He helped to help establish Jey Uso a little bit there. He won the Royal Rumble, got his title shot, went on to win the title for a few months. Charlotte Flair come back and won the Women's Rumble. There was a lot of headache about that. Now that didn't quite pan out so well, if you remember. So they turn around, take her, about a month or two off, repackage her with Alexa Bliss.
And she's fine right where she is, because as soon as she gets back in that women's title run, the hate birds gonna come. The same thing with her. Every time she gets into the title picture or wins a title,
but you know what though?
She's only winning because Charlotte Flair and all that, man.
But here's the thing though: if she goes back at her title run now, the people are going to accept it. Do you know why?
Will they?
Because she came back and she's all happy go lucky with Alexa Bliss for a while. And as long as she doesn't turn and do the heel thing to win the title, and she wins it in her current, state of mind, just state of character, she wins it as a baby face. People won't say nothing as bad about her at this point. I don't believe you'll have the one or two people that's going to do something, always will, but she'll be more overly accepted, I think.
I don't know. I think as soon as you put her anywhere near that women's world title, the hate gonna come. It's just. Sadly, that's who wrestling fans are.
Um, that is true. That is true. So we got
Um,
WrestleMania 41 2 nights, two big nights, I guess.
WrestleMania was good, but it was a little weird after it because again, like you had the whole Travis Scott thing, and I don't
Yeah,
want to say I know what happened because I don't, and nobody really does unless you actually work there. Nobody knows what really happened. There's people saying that he didn't want to do certain things, and the Rock got mad and went home because it was we don't know.
there was a lot of stuff going on.
He, at the end of the day, he was gone. It was what it was. But we did get. I think Dom finally hit at WrestleMania. That's when Dom arrived, so to speak, at WrestleMania with this year. So and it was crazy because up until then he was he couldn't even talk. He was booed so much, right?
Yeah.
Show up at WrestleMania, he's cheered.
Oh,
Got one
which was
of the
weird.
loudest pops of the night,
That
bro.
was the weirdest thing ever for me
Out
seeing
of,
that.
out of nowhere.
Um, John Cena, of course, that's when he won his 17th record breaking over the 16th time.
Hmm.
Ric Flair.
And to that person who says that comment, if Ric Flair had 20 something title reigns, why did he never say that? Why did he always say 16?
Yeah, Ric
Even when
Flair.
even when he
I mean,
left, when he did the people said, oh, he was under contract.
see, I
Even when
was
he wasn't
saying
under contract to WWE, he was still saying 16, bro.
I was saying the same thing to myself earlier. I was like, he always announced himself as the 16-time champion in private or in smaller conversations. He would talk about the 20 to 21 times, and those came from, like I said earlier, I did some research on it, and three of them came from um like losses like at house shows and him winning them back. You can't really count house show losses. Those house show losses didn't go towards storyline for one. So you didn't see
And
that
they
week to week on TV or nothing. So and
and
then you
and
had
they didn't count it.
and
So why would I
no,
count
and then you had two of them that were against people like Carlos Colon and I forget the other Mexican Hispanic. I don't know if he was from Mexico like Carlos Colon was or if he was somewhere else, but he was Hispanic wrestlers that he lost to and got the belt right back within 3 or 4 days. You got one time where he was, or twice he was international world heavyweight champion. Which are you, international or world? Which is it? You can't call the belt a world heavyweight title, but still have international title on it as well. So you're not recognizing that
it?
belt as a
Even
world heavyweight
even though the
championship.
even though the NWA tried it for like a year or two.
But
I
I
think
mean,
I
it
think because Rick Rude had it and they had it. I think
didn't
Rick Rude
Sting
had
have it with the
Sting,
world title at one
but
point.
then they made the WCW World Title,
Yeah,
which was the belt Ron Simmons won, right?
right,
So
right. So there's your five right there. That's the five difference: the two international titles and the three house show things. And I understand that the one guy from was it Fujinami or whatever his name is from Japan. I
mhm,
I I I don't know yet for sure if he's recognized by WWE. I believe I was told that they recognized him when he got admitted to the Hall of Fame,
right.
and maybe they called him International World Heavyweight Champion. Great. That doesn't mean he is recognized as a world heavyweight champion, today in the company based on what they've had in the past or anything. I don't know. But still, I mean, if Ric Flair was truly a 21-time champion, he would have gone on TV every single time and said, you're a 21-time world heavyweight champion, Ric Flair, not your 16-time world heavyweight champion. I just don't see it. So,
It's,
um, what Night of the Champions in June? You had Cody and Oh gosh, I don't want to talk about it. Cody Rhodes was the king of the ring, or I mean, was the king of that, right? And then you got Jade Cargill, who won hers.
Hey man, look, you know how I feel about Jade Cargill. I ain't, and you ain't gonna get me saying bad
How
things
is it she
about
hasn't defended that title in almost
her.
2 or 3 months?
I don't know, bro. Like,
Whatever happened to the once a month rule for defending a belt, or
like
you
that,
get stripped of it?
they haven't been going by that rule in years. I mean, look at Brock Lesnar, look at Roman Reigns. They haven't gone by that rule
I,
in
I,
years.
it's just
I
well,
remember
I mean, anytime well, if you
WWE,
remember, Brock Lesnar caught a lot of flack for not defending the title very often and not showing up on TV much. He caught a lot of flack from that.
and I tell people what I told people that back then. Hogan did it first. Hogan did it first.
Hogan, what? It was every pay per view Hogan would defend, but back then pay per views weren't once a month.
They were like every 3 months.
Yeah, every 3 months you had and but occasionally he had a title defense like on Saturday Night's Main Event or
Occasionally,
something like that. But you wouldn't see it. There definitely was that back in that day. There was definitely no title defenses like that on regular TV shows for them.
not on TV shows at all.
Mm-mm.
And if you did see him, he didn't wrestle. He did an
He
interview.
was just there talking and pumping the crowd up.
He was in Piper's Pit or what was it, Brother Love or
I love you.
the barber shop or the funeral parlor. The name of talk show.
Whatever they were called. Yeah. I believe at Night of the Champions is also where they brought in the Tamatonga Tongaloa's other brother, that Hikaleu or something like that. What do they call him now? Yeah, Tongaloa and
Tamatonga and Tongaloa.
But what's the big tall one?
Hikaleu.
Yeah, but what do they call him though? They don't call him Hikaleu.
That's what they call him.
That's what they called him in Japan. But what do they call him here now in?
That's what they call him. Oh, Talatonga.
Talatonga. There you go.
I don't know why. When he first got here, they called him Hikaleo. Then they changed it like after his first match.
Right. Well, it's just like JC Mateo. You know, they called him JC Mateo and then changed his name again real quick, wasn't it? Or they called him they called him Jeff Cobb or something, didn't they?
Yeah, the first night he was there, Michael Cole yelled Jeff Cobb.
Yeah, then they changed him to the other one. Yeah.
Somebody else debuted last night and they changed their name.
That's why I was going to say to jump ahead to today. They did with somebody else. So, but he's I will say it's well deserved too. Probably he's put his time in.
Do you know him and his wife had the same career path?
That crazy?
They were in WWE, had a different name, got fired, went on independence, both made a name with their different name, got rehired by WWE.
Now, what was her other name?
What was her name? I cannot think of her name. She had a different name when she was here first. I cannot remember her name. It was something else, but she didn't really. Matt Cardona got way more TV time than she did. I can't remember her name, but yeah, she wasn't. I don't think she was here that long. She was here maybe a year or so, if that. I think.
She went on to. She was at Impact, and then she went to. Was it?
She was in Lucha Underground.
Lucha Underground. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know why I couldn't think of that.
Because I think she wrestled Ricochet and Penta.
Penta. She had a thing. The whole Penta thing was huge when they did that.
That was man. I love Lucha Underground. I wish that shit came back, bro.
But you know what though? She is gold. I mean, she can do. I mean, she can wrestle if they wanted to wrestle. She's shown in the past she can wrestle. Yeah, but she's like the female version of R-Truth. She's there for the entertainment.
But I think they give her a little bit more than they give R-Truth though, as far as like meaningful matches.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, she's all right. I mean, but Mac, I wondered, like, he came out as Zack Ryder and then like literally it just changed.
Yeah. Well, it starts out with the woo woo woo.
Yeah.
Then it goes blank for a second. Then it comes up Cardona, and they're introducing Matt Cardona now,
which is cool. I'm glad he's back. I wonder what they're gonna do with him. I already know what's gonna happen. They gonna put him on there, and then somebody gonna complain about them making him a jobber. He should have stayed on Independence. I see it
So
happen already.
somebody somebody said they should make a tag team with him and LA Knight and call the tag team Knight Rider.
That is so fucking corny, bro.
Uh,
That is so corny, bro.
oh no, come on. Yeah, Ishmael, thanks a lot, man. She was Reclusa on Lucha Underground.
Yeah, Recluse. Yeah. I could not think of that. I knew it had something to do with a spider, but I
And
it was,
Mr. Kevin Lee Rice is in the chat as well. I've completely missed a bunch of stuff. Julie's in here, and they've been talking, and I've been on this other screen looking, completely ignoring the chat, I guess.
slacking.
So I know. And yes, Ishmael Hogan defended at house shows, but house shows do not count. We just talked about this earlier. They don't count toward title defenses and stuff like that. We don't count those for that. Um, let's see what else we miss here. Yes, Tomatolo, we got that. Kevin says Catch 22, if they defend their belt all the time, it might lose the big presentations. You want it to feel big. You want to keep in prestige and make your champion appearance seem and feel important. Like special events is like blah, 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 Goldberg. Let's see.
He's a
Goldberg beat Hogan on Nitro was a big deal, and it would have been more lucrative to have it on pay-per-view. It would have been, yes.
Well, you got to think it's WCW was ran differently than WWE, so they wouldn't have made that much money. They'd probably made more money on with doing it on TV and selling tickets in that
Now,
stadium.
yeah, but now Ishmael says no pay-per-view when Hogan won the belt. Now, there were pay-per-views after the fact, though, when he won the belt. And going forward, he only really, defended them on pay-per-views. Like, Mr. K has said, every 3 months was a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean,
Back in the day, at least.
What that was on TV when he beat Iron Sheik, right? I was like 3.
3.
It was like 3 or 4.
I don't know if I guess it was on TV. I don't know. I wasn't watching WWE when he won the title from the Iron Sheik. I wasn't watching WWE then. It wasn't something that I was paying attention to. I had the local stuff here I watched on Saturday mornings, and then when I got cable, I found NWA and AWA.
You found real wrestling when you got cable. Good job.
Shoot, that Memphis wrestling was stuff. That was the stuff right there, man. You just don't know. And if you grew up on Mid-South wrestling, the Bill Watts wrestling, Bill Watts wrestling was just as good as the Memphis wrestling because it was a lot of the same people.
Guess you had to be there. I don't know.
You did. It was only on TV in New York City, Ishmael said.
No, I got WWF, and where was that?
No, he's talking about the title.
The title change. The title change.
The title change. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think I saw it live. I saw it.
Chelsea Green's other name, also, I just looked it up on Impact, was Laurel Van Ness.
What was her name when she was her first time in WWE?
Megan Miller.
Yeah, that don't wonder you can't remember that name. That's not a
it's not a very memorable name at all. I don't remember that at all. Laurel Van Ness, I'd forgotten about that one. I remember it now though in Impact Wrestling, and then I didn't watch Lucha, so I didn't know of Reclusa. But anyway, there's that. And what does Mr. Kevin say? The catch is Ray and I talked about Cena's run as the U.S. champ and him bringing back the prestige by doing the weekly open challenges. Yeah, he did start that.
He did the same thing with the WWE title. I mean, I don't think it lost as much prestige as the U.S. title did when he had it and brought it back. But yeah, he made a lot of people when he had that title. The SEC is trash.
All right, don't be starting with me. I congratulated you and your team. I was cool. I was nice. Don't be starting. Don't be starting. Hey, you can say SEC's trash if you want to at least compliment my team or something. You can do that. But because Alabama should have done better than what they did, obviously, in Georgia.
What is a compliment in saying your team is how do you compliment your team by saying SEC is trash at the same
You can say, Chris, your team did well this year. It's a 10-win season. That's awesome for your team. Congratulations on your team's first ever 10-win season because they were trash on the years before.
That's like saying you were the best turd out of a pile of shit. Like,
if it's the shiniest turd, I mean, people look at it more, right? So,
I mean, hey, if that's what you call progress, becoming the shiniest turd, I guess. Like we still in the playoffs, so I don't have a problem.
Well, so I say the shiny turd you're watching this year hadn't been too shiny the last 10 years, have they?
Hey,
Yeah, hey. Yes, yeah.
we
You don't
we are
talk about that.
we are focused on Ole Miss and
Yeah,
beating
we don't
it
want to
right
talk
now.
about that, do we?
Why you want to talk about old shit, Chris?
Hey,
It's a
who's
new
gonna
year.
win
We're
going
trying to move on.
forward? Who's gonna win going forward now? Who's got it?
The U, of course.
You think it's the U all the way? You're saying?
Yeah, I mean,
who's gonna be in the championship? Let's put this out there for who's gonna be in the championship.
The everybody's baby face favorites ain't in Alabama's gone, Oklahoma's gone, so good. It may,
The SEC still has Ole Miss to fall back on, though.
And we about to and that's why they trash. Because
so does Ole Miss?
I gotta rely on Ole Miss. Yeah.
So Ole Miss, but you know what? Ole Miss gotta get past Indiana first, don't they?
No, they got us.
Oh, they got y'all.
We played it.
Well, it's gonna be Ole Miss. So it's gonna be Ole Miss and Indiana in the championship then.
Nah, it's gonna be the U and Indiana, and we're gonna finally snap that win streak of theirs.
Well, Ishmael says he's rooting for Ole Miss versus Miami.
Yeah, he's. Hey, I respect his right to be wrong. And when Michaels dropped the belt to Austin and all the defenses on him having to pay this, yeah, like if you lost your title on a house show and got it back 2 days later,
no one really cared.
Did you really lose it?
No one really
at this point, you're just losing it to win it back. You're just padding the stats at this point.
Yeah.
So what else? What else did you like or dislike from last year? I'll tell you what I disliked from last year.
What's that?
That blood and guts bullshit. That was garbage.
So we're jumping to AEW now. Okay, let me click on my AEW here.
That was garbage. That John Moxley title reign, that was garbage. Him winning the title at the end of the year last, garbage. But I will say, MJF coming back, it's pretty good. Lane Kiffin is garbage.
So you like some MJF then?
I like it. I like it, but I think if they can just cut his segments down in half, he'd be much more impactful. He says a lot.
See, me and Ralph talk about this a lot.
He says a lot. It takes
everybody.
Thing.
All of them. I mean, it's the same thing. Why do we got to have 20-minute segments?
I don't mind the 20 minutes if it's entertaining.
I mean,
20 minutes. The difference is MJF is by himself in the ring most of the time, taking that long.
I just don't know.
If you got 2 to 4 people in there going back and forth for 5 to 10 minutes, that's one thing. MJF standing out there by himself for 15, 20 minutes is as entertaining as he is. He can wrap some of that shit up quicker. Stop AEW is stop letting the roster exactly.
All right, so but as he put before, the AEW isn't his cup of tea either. So I mean, him saying stop letting the roster book.
But you can't. But in his defense, if we're gonna compare, he was a big ECW fan, and some people put ECW and AEW in the same category. I'm just saying. I didn't say I did. I'm just saying some people do.
I don't know if I put ECW in the same. I mean, ECW was a special thing at the time because it was different. Everybody
isn't that what the claim AEW is supposed to be? It's supposed to be different and special.
No, it's just wrestling. I mean, it's just supposed to be wrestling. I mean, it's what we lost
when AEW came out. Everybody said, "Oh, we're gonna love this because
it's what we lost with WCW when WCW was bought out." That's what we lost from WCW. Supposedly,
that was not the narrative for the last 6 years. The narrative for the last 6 years is we like this because it's different from WWE.
It is different. You're not getting the same wrestlers every week. That's the difference.
That's what ECW was. It was different.
But it was different in a special way, though. They did things differently. They were hardcore. They did crazy things for matches, coming to the ring and everything.
Blood and guts. John.
Okay,
Moxley.
but you're not. Okay, stop.
Football field
stop.
fuckery.
You're not. You're jumping.
Chaos in the arena.
You're jumping.
Random Darby Allin match. Wembley falling through the paint.
You let me know when you're done jumping from track to track, then we'll get back on it again. Just let me know when you're done.
What part of that does not remind you of ECW?
Just let me know when you're done.
What part of that does
Let
not
me know when you're done.
remind you of ECW?
It does not. When we had ECW come out, what did we have for wrestling at the time? We had your traditional wrestling stuff like WCW was doing, that Dusty was booking and stuff. You had Vince's usual stuff he was doing out there. Then Paul Heyman come out and he's got this great new thing going out there where they get some hardcore style going on with some people that wasn't taken by other organizations or anything, that was doing things that were different and crazy. I mean, Sandman coming to the ring with beer in his hand and smashing his head up and bloody before he even gets to the ring and everything, carrying the
That's
kendo
what
stick all the
people
time. You
were
get the Dudleys doing what they did every
saying.
week in that week out.
Is
You
that
get all these things.
is that not what people were saying when AEW came out?
No, Jesus freaking Christ, Ray. You do the same thing every freaking week. I mean,
when AEW first came out, people were saying this is new, this is
all right.
different.
I thought we were going to talk year in review, not argue this week. Are we good? Are we
I'm trying
talking
to
year
talk
in
here.
review or something or what?
I'm telling you what I did not like in last year. As far as
Okay.
AEW went.
I did like Blood and Guts match because it was better than War Games. I didn't like War Games because War Games they couldn't make up their mind what the hell they were doing. So there's that. I like the fact that Dustin Rhodes finally got a title again in his career, other than just putting people over all the darn time. Even if he is.
Oh yeah, he won those the RH World Tag Team titles.
Well, the TNT title and the Ring of Honor trios or something. Was it 6-man? Him and the Von Erichs. Is that what it was? Or no. Or was it him and Sammy Guevara?
Yeah,
tag team titles.
It was tag team titles. Him and Sammy Guevara.
Okay, so it was them, and then he got the TNT title. I liked Hangman Page's thing for the year. The storyline for him, just whatever you want to call it. They call it his redemption arc. They call it. I mean, call it what you want to call it, but I like the Hangman story thing he had going all year between him and Swerve, and him and Swerve coming together as a team too, as well. Everything I think him and Swerve as a tag team are good. If you want to team them up together, they're not really a tag team, but you can team them together, and that's fine, and they're entertaining. I liked his match with Samoa Joe that he had. I liked his match with Moxley for the most part, but not. I just liked it. I liked it mostly because he took the belt from Moxley. That's why I liked that mostly.
Anybody taking a belt from Moxley was a breath of fresh air. I would have loved to have seen Samoa Joe in ECW.
That would have been something, I guess. That would have been something.
Yeah. But no, that was. I will give you. I'm not gonna say Blood and Guts was better. I will say War Games was a little off. It was just off. And when I say War Games, I mean the actual matches, not the whole show.
Yeah, the War Game matches. That's what I'm saying. I didn't like the War Game matches.
And it wasn't so much the way they were, like the entrance or how they had people set up on that like that. It was just, I don't know. I think people were expecting something different, and we got what we got. Like I said, I didn't think it was bad. It was just a little off. It was what it was. It wasn't the best pay per view of the year.
The one thing about AEW I didn't care for a whole lot that I thought would have been better than what it was, and it was poorly handled, obviously, is Mercedes Moné, or Sasha Banks, whatever you want to call her.
Gosh.
The only thing that's turned out good about it is that after they loaded her up with all these things, she's now slowly losing them one by one, and it's putting others back over and everything. That's the only good redeeming thing about that thing, this story they were doing with her, is her losing them all back out to people now.
You got my brother fired up talking about that ECW stuff, man. You got him all fired up in the chat.
I ain't paying no attention. Kevin's all biased over ECW anyway. I ain't listening to him. We can argue that you get me aggravated with talking about it. Then I got to put up with him and Ishmael talking about it all of a sudden. So I'm gonna let them debate amongst themselves right there in the chat like they're doing. So it ain't like I don't see it. I'm just not acknowledging it. So there's that.
Y'all let them know. Y'all let them know.
Double or Nothing was like, well, let me see if that was Double or Nothing I'm thinking of. It's the one in Texas. All in Texas. AEW All in Texas was probably the best pay-per-view they had all year. It's the biggest record attendance that's non-WWE for a pay-per-view that's ever been had, pretty much. So they did good with that.
I will say, as far as AEW goes, I'm happy for my girl Willow. She got,
She's a 2-time champion now. That belt.
she will never give me a chance, but I don't hold that against her. I still like looking at old Willow there. She's a nice looking young lady, and she does very good in the ring. She's not the best female wrestler, but she's a fun wrestler. I enjoy watching. She's like she's having a lot of fun
She
for
does look
sure.
like she is fun.
Now,
But
technically, I would not put her in the top 10, top 15 of women's wrestlers if we're going
no,
on skill.
no.
But again, she
And
has
I've said this 1,000 times over. There is no better women's wrestling than WWE women's wrestling. They're the
oh,
best with everything
by far.
with women's wrestling. I got no problem admitting that at all. They are the absolute best women's division, and everybody else is light years behind, just behind them. You're not catching up with them, I don't think.
You know what I think about AEW's women's wrestling is I don't know who's working with them or who's training them or if anybody's training them at all. To be honest with you, um, but it's when I watch AEW's women's match, I feel like I'm watching a match in wrestling school. Like I'm watching a wrestling school match. It's Get me wrong, Tony Storm entertaining, Willow love Willow entertaining, Statliner entertaining, like them. But when I watch some of the matches, man, it feel like I'm watching them like they're in wrestling school when I watch them. It's no hate. It's just what it looks like. Like you can literally see them sometimes like telling each other like or waiting on each other to do something. Like I'm
No,
supposed to
you're
do this.
right.
Like
You and some of the things they do in the women's matches, they're like telegraph a clothesline 3 seconds too early and still duck for it. And man, come on, that gets a little crazy.
yeah.
But their pay per views have been spot on all year. They've had great pay
I
per
would
views.
give AEW this year especially. I you can't deny them, can't hate. Well, this year, last year, you can't deny it. You can't hate on them, man. Man, they when it comes to pay per views, what was the one they had in Texas? Was it All In?
All in, that was the best, probably the best one of the year.
That looked like a fun show, even though I ain't gonna lie, it looked like they took a WWE template and put it in that building and made a show. Still a fun show. Looked like everybody in the lady were having a good damn time in that show. So Shimmer is the Willow is a goddess. Shimmer is the way. Is
You know
what
who I'd compare with? If I was to compare Willow to anybody, you know who I'd compare Willow to? You gotta know who I'm gonna say. And I'm not comparing her to her. Well, I don't know. I'd almost compare her to her talent wise too.
it's about Nia Jax.
Yeah.
Nia is way more skilled in the ring than Willow is.
I just don't know. You know, I saw a picture of Nia Jax when she was younger just earlier today.
Beautiful.
And hey, she was a looker when she was younger.
She was actually a model.
Was she a model? I didn't know she was a model, but I mean, yeah, I will say that for her. When she was younger, she didn't look that bad.
She looks good now. What you
Um,
talking
AEW, yeah, no comment. AEW National Championship, another belt created for Mr. Ricochet, the inaugural champion.
about?
Now,
Company of belts. Company of belt collectors.
you know, but and what about all these Sports Illustrated personally handed out awards, like
They
10 awards to like AEW for the year? I mean, there was like a ton of them.
Kevin is in the chat just dropping all kind of encyclopedia wrestling knowledge. Um, but no, yeah, I don't them awards from yeah, Sports Illustrated, but I don't know who dude is or who that person is writing that shit. But let me know you don't. Let me know you like only watch AEW without telling me you only watch AEW, bro.
Do what?
I said
Oh,
the person that's writing it. Let me know you only watch AEW without telling me
you
you
know,
only.
one of the main things I disagree with him on was calling Mercedes Moné the women wrestler of the year. That was completely false.
Garbage.
That's completely false.
Garbage.
I can't even wanting to aggravate you. I can't even do that without cracking a smile and laughing because it's so badly wrong.
if it wasn't
I I agreed with them on the storyline of the year because I really followed it and I liked it. That was the Hangman Page thing. I liked Hangman Page back in the Ring of Honor days when he was a part of the Elite and part of the Bullet Club,
Hangman Page, which Hangman Page storyline are you referring to?
where he could, he was basically a nutcase. It seemed like early in the year. It's his whole redemption thing from doing what he was doing early in the year and
Coming
coming
back
back and
coming back from alcoholism?
well, all the stuff he had going on and coming back and winning the title and everything. His feud he had with Swerve, his feud with Joe, everything he had going on to winning the title and everything. It was just really good all year long
Fake burning
watching
down
him.
fake burning down somebody's house only to by the end of the year be friends with them.
It
Like
doesn't matter, but I mean, that doesn't mean it's wrestling. It's fake.
man, ain't no way in hell. You ain't gonna
It,
fake
it's fake.
storyline, call it what you want. You ain't gonna burn down my house and we gonna be cool 6 months later, bro. Like, no.
It's wrestling. It's fake. No one cares. All they care about is the quality of the matches they're seeing at that point. I mean, is it fun? Is it exciting or something? Are they enjoying what they're watching? Yeah. Do they care about the storyline? No, not really. Usually,
That's why they where they are now.
I mean, that's like saying, having Randy Orton burn down, was it Bray Wyatt's place or something?
Here's the thing.
What didn't it happen with them? Didn't it happen with some other wrestlers too?
I'm,
Where they
I'm,
set a house on fire or something?
I'm going to state the obvious that nobody really wants to say, or nobody is smart enough to say, right? Because people talk about, oh, WWE had a 40-year head start and all that shit, which really does not matter. If people watch what they want to watch, whether you've been on TV for 40 years or whether you've been on TV for 6 years, put something on TV that people want to see, they're going to watch it. But here's why I'll give some credence to that 40-year head start shit. WWE has cemented their spot in wrestling when it comes to wrestling to where they can do something stupid like set Bray Wyatt on fire and recover from it. AEW is too new, not as much as people don't want to admit it. AEW is not as much of a household name as WWE is.
No, they're
They're
not.
they're not in a position to do stupid shit like that and get away with it and it not hurt them. They don't have that long standing, you know what I'm saying, tenure or footprint in wrestling to be like, I can do this over here, but people know us for what we like. Our good outweighs our bad. WWE has enough good to outweigh the bad shit they do. AEW does not.
But the whole thing, him burning Swerve's house down, still didn't hurt the company for the year.
It didn't hurt the company, but it didn't help it either.
What, what could you possibly do any worse to make yourself any worse, right?
To be honest, a lot of people stopped watching that after that. I remember seeing them like, I can't. I try to give AEW a shot, and this was the final straw. A lot of people said the thing with the back, the spikes in the 2x4 with in Moxley's back, that was their final straw. They lost people with that shit.
Yeah, I didn't care for that.
I think you were one of
the
people.
But I didn't stop watching though.
You stopped watching as faithfully as you did.
What have I told you? For the last 2 years, how have I watched wrestling mostly? All clips. Wrestling
and clips.
That's WWE and too, including mostly clips. Every now and then I'll get to watch a full show, but it's mostly clips. I see everything. I don't see a full show hardly ever. So I mean, it didn't stop me from keeping up with storylines and what was going on and everything. I just didn't care for the spike bed or the spike bat thing. I didn't care for the whole. I told you I liked the whole Hangman thing, but the Hangman Swerve match where they did the syringe thing in the mouth and stuff too, I didn't care for that. Probably because I don't like needles and shots and stuff. But I mean, that's probably what that was. But I didn't care for that either. I thought it was just a little too stupid. But I still like the overall product that I've watched because I like watching those things for whatever reason. That's like saying people who love watching horror movies and the ones who don't, like, well, why don't you like them? I like them. It's the same thing. It's not for everybody.
Look, I will never. Everybody has the right to like and should like. I don't watch everything through everybody else's eyes. I only watch them through mine. So, but what I'm saying is, AEW has not built up enough equity in wrestling to where they can just do stupid stuff, and like I said, when I say hurt them, it ain't gonna like put the company out of business. Well, and then again, you never know what they're gonna do next. So, um,
But it's
but
not going to happen until time comes anyway. I mean, time. What you're
yeah,
talking about, WWE's got their 40 years in, and
that's
that's
what that's
great.
that's what
They've
I'm
been
saying.
around forever, and that's great. That's
So
awesome. But
that's what I'm
you
saying. So
got, if you're going to talk about equity in years,
they
there's
still
nothing you
try.
can do about it until years happen.
They're still trying to put in there. Well, that's what I'm saying. So don't I would eliminate some of that stuff, the spikes in the 2x4 underneath the skin, the barb. Well, I would eliminate some of that stuff to build that equity, to build that good standard with people that just don't
And I will
take.
agree with you on that. I will agree with you on eliminating that stuff because I don't like the hardcore aspect of the wrestling. I don't think that's why I didn't watch a lot of ECW. I was not a huge fan of hardcore wrestling. That's why I tell Chili Ray all the time I could care less about them death matches they have. That's the dumbest stuff ever. Where you take somebody and stack up some light bulbs and you body slam them or suplex them off the top turnbuckle onto like 800 light bulbs, smashing everywhere. It's stupid. It occasionally, if some thumbtacks got dropped in the ring and you get the shock value of it, okay. But all this other stuff is just stupid. It's not even, and the people
Don't
doing it, they ain't making no money. What are they getting? A hot dog and a bag of chips and a drink for being there for the night? I mean, putting their bodies through that stuff, and it's not, there's no story to it or anything. There's nothing involved with it. It's not even wrestling.
Realm
It's
Regal. I don't know if you saw what Realm Regal put out a couple of days ago, but he was basically saying like, "Look, dudes, I've got a broken neck. I get up
yeah,
in
but his
pain."
car wreck he had or something.
No, he was talking about before that. He was beat up before that and after that. He's like, and I didn't even wrestle like that. I wrestled strong style, but I didn't wrestle, hardcore style. I wasn't doing a bunch of flips and landing on my head. I was just getting slammed and putting holds, and my body's a wreck. And then you throw a car accident on top of that. You know what I'm saying? He's like, y'all are having a car accident every fucking night for no damn reason.
Right.
For
And
no, stop it.
to acknowledge Kevin, I do see what you're saying. ECW did have some deep matches there for sure. They had some. What were they mostly known for? They
I
weren't
was
mostly known for having some deep wrestling matches.
I would say they were mostly known for both because you talk to any hardcore wrestling fan that was around back in those days until now, they will. When you mention ECW, the first thing they do is mention those Eddie Guerrero matches, mention those Chris Benoit matches, mention those um, 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 um what's the guy's name? Taz matches. Mention all those good, those Two Cold Scorpios, those Rob Van Dams, those they will mention all those matches before they get to the hardcore stuff. So not as much, but they
If
do
you
get
look at the overall length of the company they were out, what people truly remember them by, though, what are they called?
they were
Extreme
called
Championship
but
Wrestling
I'm telling you,
because they were what? They
if you
were
go
hardcore.
if you go talk to all those people that were around back then as hardcore fans, they will say, yeah, hardcore wrestling, but they will throw them when you tell them what are some best memories of ECW, they'll throw their matches out there first before they get to but somebody like me who was around, I prefer guys like New Jack. I like Sandman. I like some of the RVD and Guerrero stuff too, but I wanted to see the Dudley Boys beat the shit. I like the Terry Funk matches when they threw all them chairs and him and Mick Foley. I like those matches. I like the crazy stuff Stone Cold was doing before they snatched him out. He wasn't even there for about maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But when I was watching those videos, I was like, okay, I'm waiting to see what they was gonna do with that. But he left. So, but I get it. I know to the general public, casual, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, they be known for the hardcore stuff.
More or less. So to me, that's what I mean. And like I said, everybody sees things differently.
Hey,
I I'll give you a prime example. Kevin obviously loves ECW.
I try to tell you,
That's fairly obvious to me. All right, what did I love growing up?
Memphis wrestling.
I can tell you how great it was 500 different ways, okay? But Kevin's not going to understand why it was so great. You're not going to understand why it was so great
I
because you
don't.
didn't live it week in, week out, watching it constantly all the time, seeing the different types of matches they came up with, the feuds they went through, the people that came through there, and everything. The mainstay people that were created there and only stayed there. You won't know anything about them, but yet I can tell you, like I said, 500 different ways why that company was probably one of the greatest ones as far as territories go out there. They were, yes, ECW was the last real territory. What was the one before it? USWA, which was the Memphis Wrestling. They outlasted everybody else except ECW, and I think it's because ECW opened up after the fact that they were gone. So technically, they were the last real one, and then ECW opened up and tried their hand in it when you had places like CZW and Evolve Wrestling and all these Global Championship Wrestling, I think was the name of one of them that tried it for a little bit. I mean, there's been other places give it a shot and go, but he obviously loves ECW, and I'm not taking that away from him. And I'm glad he enjoyed it when he watched it. It was not my cup of tea, just like AEW is not your cup of tea or his, either. But I
T,
like watching it when I watch it. So I
to be
mean, everybody's got
be honest,
different things they like to watch.
to be honest with you, tea is not my cup of tea. I can't stand tea. Tea is disgusting.
Sweet tea is the way to go.
I don't want sweet tea anymore. Look, 2026, man. I'm trying to give up sugar. I'm trying. I didn't. You never know what you like all the time until you try to stop using it.
Well, you know what we need to do? Let me tell you what we need to do. We need to jump to TNA real quick. We need to jump to the Impact Wrestling.
TNA, who some will say, and I'm not gonna say no names, but I will say his first name begins with or sounds like Matt, and his last name sounds like Hardy. Said that they will overtake.
You have a way of giving people's names away without really sounding like their names, you know?
I'm just saying, you got to be smooth and you know. But he said that TNA will become or be perceived as the number 2 wrestling company in 2026.
Okay, so 2026. I started to say 2025 hadn't happened yet, but let's wait and see what it does in 2020. Maybe next year at this time, while we're doing a year in 2026, we can look back on this and you may very well, or he may very well be right. Who knows? We don't, but we don't know yet.
No names, but his first name sounds like Matt, and his last name
If
sounds
you, there is a name though that if you say, he will appear, and I do believe his name is Joe Hendry.
What is Ishmael talking about? Dunkin' Donuts coffee, bro.
I'm afraid to look. Hold on.
What's going on? Am I missing a
Dunkin'
whole?
Donut. Oh, so he must have a coffee in his hand right now with some Dunkin' Donuts coffee. I guess I don't know.
There's a whole other conversation going on in that chat right now.
You can't tell what Ishmael's talking about. Sometimes I guess I don't know. Joe Hendry though, with his run as TNA World Champion throughout early 2025. That was a pretty good thing for TNA going on. I think he kind of brought some attention to them as well. And to me, it was a silly gimmick, but it took off. Life of its own, I mean, it ended up being something. They get Mustafa Ali signed with them. They get some more free agents throughout the year that kind of helped them stand out a little bit. You know who really I think is kind of funny? They get their R-Truth guy there too. And that's Santino. Santino Morello. He is goofy as can be.
I love Santino. Santino's a man, though.
If you watch some videos of some of the former people he worked with, they said his only goal was to make people break character if they would, and laugh and break and everything.
I'm sure he succeeded in a lot of them.
Indy Hartwell made her in-ring debut back in May again, back with the company. Several veterans come back. You had the Hardys dominating the tag ranks there. If you're a Hardy Brothers fan, Hardy Boys, then there you go. They end up getting what was the girl's name in WWE, but she's Ash by Elegance.
Oh, Dana Brooks.
Dana Brooks. Dana Brooks made a better name for herself there than she did in WWE. There was no room for her in WWE.
Not at all.
There's too many people, too many established people there already ahead of her. It was going to take a long time for her to really get her foot in the door.
Nothing against her. I agree with you. There was not a lot of room, but at the same time, she was not good enough to break through the people who were already there in front of her.
She wasn't doing anything spectacular that stood out.
Yeah.
I mean, there was nothing for her. And then you got Masha Slamovich there, for the women's division, which stood out for them.
I think TNA is going to do good in 20, especially with the new TV deal and that stuff they got.
The TV deal helps a lot. It
So
does.
yeah,
If they keep doing some of the storylines they got going on and
yeah,
going with they are now, I would prefer to see it just TNA, not NXT crossing over and them crossing over to NXT. I want to see what Impact can do because they got a roster that's good enough to do it.
they
To go
do.
ahead
But
and do it.
I think you're going to continue to see this. Not for a long time. I think in 20 it won't be as much in 2020. You'll see it probably wear off a little bit. I mean, you'll still see it, but it won't be as prevalent because again, they TNA alone can only go so far, right? They're gonna need a help. They gonna need a helping hand, which if done right, not overly saturated by NXT like you said, and and then when you do have NXT people in there, they help get some of the TNA people over. So I think that could help out. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah. What's his name? Shit. I was reading the chat for a second. I lost track of where I was. Nick Nemeth, coming over there and then starting. And of course, I don't really care too much for his brother wrestling there. He didn't do anything for me as a wrestler.
Ishmael said his name when you said they had their own R-Truth character. I thought you was gonna go with the guy Ishmael said, hometown man.
No, I don't. Even, I'm not even know who Hometown Man is.
Oh, you got to check out hometown man.
Yeah, I
He's from
really don't. I really don't know.
he's from everywhere. Everywhere's his hometown.
Let me scroll up for a second and see if there's anything up there. Uh, let's see. Dunkin' Donuts coffee. That's where we were. Okay. Yes, Kevin. I know you grew up with '90s wrestling. I know this.
I don't understand his fascination with Sting, but that's all right.
Ishmael says I'm correct. I'm assuming it's about the coffee. What do we think about Trick Williams? Trick Williams is good. He's a good talent.
I think, man, 2026 on SmackDown is going to be spectacular. You got Trick Williams coming up there. You got the aforementioned Joe Hendry up there. He's going to be
brought what's the girl's name for the women's division they brought up?
Lash Legend.
No, just came from she came from Impact Wrestling. Jordan Grace. They brought her up to SmackDown.
She's up there now?
They just brought her up.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, like you said earlier, the women's division in WWE is in good hands. It's in damn good hands.
Now, 2025 year-end awards for Impact TNA. Male Wrestler of the Year, there was Mike Santana. Knockout of the Year, Ashba Elegance. Leon Slater, X Division Star of the Year. Why does Leon Slater sound familiar to me?
He was on that.
Is he the one that wrestled with the other guy on Saturday Night's Main Event?
Yeah.
Now he is something else. Tag Team of the Year, the Hardys. Match of the Year, Mike Santana versus Mustafa Ali at Rebellion. Moment of the Year, AJ Styles return at Slammiversary. Faction of the Year, the System and the Elegance brand was the Knockouts Tag Team of the Year. They've had a pretty good year overall, I think, in Impact, and I think good things are still going to come for them. So I have nothing bad to say about them.
Yeah, like I said, there's only up for them.
Now here's one that we don't watch hardly ever, but I want to start picking up and watching this again. And it's NWA. I want to pick up and start. I mean, I get my NWA fix from Ralph. Ralph tells me all about it. He watches it all the time. Ralph is a wrestling machine when it comes to watching wrestling.
I watch it, but it's I watch it. If I'm gonna watch NWA, I gotta watch the clips, man. It's hard to watch that because it's like them and like.
Man, they brought the Crockett Cup back, for crying out loud. They brought back it wasn't as great as it was when they first had the Crockett Cup, though. Remember back when they had the original Crockett Cup? We got tag teams from all the other places that come around.
People I only heard of and that you only seen it until you've seen them at the Crockett Cup. Like,
right. I mean, if you were somebody who only watched the Georgia wrestling, Mid-South Georgia wrestling, you may not have known who at the time anyway, the Fantastics or the Fabulous Ones were, or the Sheep Herders, because the Sheep Herders hadn't that wasn't the time when they go on the WWE and become the Bushwhackers yet, Uh, you had your the Guerreros are wrestling together, which was Hector and Chavo Senior. I think were wrestling together. Brad Armstrong and Tim Horner, the Lightning Express. Then you had your regular. You had Arn and Tully. I think was the tag team. Dusty and Nikita, the Road Warriors, the Powers of Pain. I think Jimmy Valiant and Pez Watley, I think, were a tag team that year, or maybe it was Manny Fernandez. No, I think Manny Fernandez and Rick Rude were in that, weren't they? Anyway, you had a huge, huge thing with great tag teams in it. No matter how you want to look at it, it was really great. And this one here was supposedly pretty good. I didn't watch the Crockett Cup. I read about it after it happened. But bring that back with something else.
It's just hard to watch NWA. I don't want to blame it on it. It's the setting. It's the setting.
It's a small studio setting you can't get into probably because we're used to watching crowds now 15, 17,000 people, 25,000 people.
Jump in and say, "Oh, well, NWA used to be in a small TV." Yeah, here's the reason I could watch it back then, because you didn't have a bunch of TV shows with 17,000 people on it every day.
Right. We've gotten used to seeing a certain product, a certain thing out there. So it's hard to go back and watch something where you only have about 50 or 75 people or 100 people, maybe 200 people total. I don't know. Just watch. See, it's even hard for me to watch Impact. Not Impact. I'm sorry. NXT when they're at the place in Orlando, because it's such a small setting too. But you got probably about 500 people in that building. I've been in that building where they had the matches. I'd taken my daughter there to get to check out the school.
Well, yeah, no, they're not in Full Sail no more.
But they've been in Full Sail though, and they got. I'm talking about, and the place I seen them not too long ago was about the size of Full Sail they were in. It looked like.
Yeah, they get a decent number of people in there, but
it's not exactly huge.
But the crowd, I guess I'm not a big fan of the crowd letting me enjoy a show and that. But at the same time, if it sounds like 10 people clapping.
It's kind of like watching during COVID time. It was hard to get into wrestling during COVID time because no real crowds or nothing.
It was hard to watch wrestling in COVID time, bro. It was hard, bro.
And you kind of get that. And this is the reason why I tell Ralph I have a hard time watching NWA. I'd like to be watching it, but I have a hard time getting into it. The little small intimate feel there is fine. That's one thing, but I have a harder time still getting into it. But Silas Mason, what they call him, the Thrillbilly, I think Silas Mason. Defeated the champion Tom Latimer they had for a while there. Natalia Markova, your NWA World Women's Champion. I think she got that she defeated Kenzie Page, I believe, to get that. You've got there was the tag team of Trevor Murdoch and somebody else.
Murdoch still wrestling?
Yeah, he went to when he left WWE. That's where he went. NWA. He'd been there for a while.
I know he was there when he left, but jeez, okay.
Knox, Trevor Murdoch and was it Mike Knox?
Mike Knox is still wrestling?
I don't know if it's Mike Knox. I can't remember. It's Knox and Murdoch held the tag titles for much of the year. The Immortals, which is a tag team consisting of Kratos and Odinson, Junior Kratos, JR Kratos, and Odinson. They're the ones that took it back from them. Women's tag titles, Tiffany, I don't know how you say her last name, Nieves.
Never heard of it.
And Valentina Rossi. They captured those those belts. NWA World Television Championship. They still got that. Someone named Brian Idol. I don't know that name. I can't tell you nothing about it.
Never heard
this is where it gets to the lower parts of it where we don't know any names because this is like one of those true old school things, like small territory places that you don't know much.
Right now, I have no idea of what's going on. I may know some of the names of some of these places, but they're very few. But I can't tell you a storyline. I can't tell you who the champion is. I can't tell you who.
The NWA has made some good moves though.
They made some good moves. MLW. I can't tell you what's going on. Like I said, you may throw some names out there that I may or may not know. But as far as like telling you what's happening on the show and what's happening in the company, I have no idea.
They made some good moves though. They got on the Roku channel. Obviously, I mean that's probably not that hard to do.
I mean,
but it's a way for people to see them though because they're streaming.
That's fucked up, Chris.
It's probably what they do. If you see online all the time, you can buy your own channel for Roku, right? That's all Billy Corgan did. But it's
Hey,
on there and it's
hey,
available for people to see though.
maybe I'll put us on Roku. What do you think?
You should do that. You pay to do it. You let me know when it happens. We'll talk about some money from the commercials we play and everything.
Oh,
We'll see how that goes.
hey, if I can get on Roku and not work, great, great.
They had some memorable cameos too. I don't know if you remember this or not, but at the Crockett Cup, Natalia came to NWA and wrestled a few matches. I don't know why she did it, but she did.
I know. I'll tell you why she did it, because they paid her. That's why she did it.
I'm sure they paid her to come in, yes, but she was there for some matches there. All in all, for a small organization, NWA did fairly well for itself. It didn't take losses or anything, I don't believe. And the one last thing I'm going to mention is MLW. Just real quick, you had the champion for most of the year was Matt Riddle. Somebody named Mads Kruger shocked the world. It says cashed in and took the title from him at Fightland, some pay-per-view they had. I don't get to watch this any more than the other. I think it's on YouTube, but I don't really keep up with MLW. I did at one point in time because MLW had some really good stuff at one point. MJF was there as a part of Dynasty with Alexander Hammerstone and somebody else, and they had some good stuff going on then, but it's a little tough for me to watch it now. The Good Brothers made their MLW debut in November. Killer Cross and Scarlett Bordeaux have shown up there, and Isla Dawn.
Who should probably still be in WWE by now.
Should be, but they're not. Speaking of Killer Cross and Scarlett Bordeaux, guess who's going to be in Nashville the first week of February?
It's been a good show, Chris. It's been nice talking to you this week.
Killer Cross and Scarlett Bordeaux.
Fuck. Hey, I hate the fact that you keep getting to meet these women. It's just not fair. Speaking of Roku, so you gotta, after taxes, you gotta pay Roku 20% of your subscriptions and rentals, and 30% of your advertising revenue. So, in order for us to be on Roku, we gotta we need at least 100,000 people watching us.
Well, get on it, man. Get on that advertising budget. Come on.
We got, man. That's the money we gotta pay out before we get a dime, bro. I feel like.
All right. Oh, hold up. I have to go back.
They're gonna make me feel like the same way when it comes to music, man. Go independent, because
I have to go back to the chat for a second. We have no other than Ray Phillips with us now. NWA was good when it first came back, but they fired Cornette and it sucked afterwards. MLW is better than NWA and TNA. Tilly, no, man, come on. MLW is not better than TNA right now. I'm sorry. It might be better than NWA. I don't know, because I haven't watched either one of them in a while, but I'm not better than TNA.
I'm convinced Mr. Ray Phillips needs to be in rehab. He is on some type of drug. He's an alcoholic. Something's wrong with the man.
Tilly, I know what you're doing, Tilly. You doing to me what I do to him all the time. I get him riled up over something. You're trying to get me riled up now, ain't you?
He's suffering from emotional stress or emotional issues. Or does he need to see a psychiatrist? Does the man need to be put on a heavy dose of Medicaid? Something's wrong with him.
We need to get him a heavy dose of some Memphis wrestling and some old Mid-South wrestling to get him back in wrestling form again.
They trying to kill Brock Purdy in this game, bro. I'm trying to tell you, they done bent him like a pretzel. And the San Francisco 49ers should fire their left and right tackles right now in the middle of the game. Fire them right now. Fire them right now.
They lost their jobs for next year, right?
Suck ass, bro. They suck ass. They Olay in the whole game. They've been playing Olay the whole game, bro. They Mexican bullfighters the whole game. Terrible. Seattle should not be going on like this. They should not be beaten. No, Seattle's not. I refuse. Fucking refuse.
Yeah, look. Since we've jumped to the NFL for a little second, I want to get your opinion here. My Titans okay, are going to have in the top 10 pick. Obviously, we're looking at number 5 or number 6 right now, one of the two. If you have a choice and they're all on the board at the same time, what's the name of your two defensive ends you got there? You got Kane or Bain, or I don't know what his name is.
You take the man from Miami. That's
Hold
what you
on,
do.
listen. You got two. You got your two bookends you got there on defensive end. They talk about both of them pretty big. You've also got Tate from Ohio State, who hasn't dropped a ball all year long, who's available on the board, and we need a number 1 receiver too. Just like we need a pass rusher.
Stop people from scoring touchdowns is what you need. Take the defensive player.
You also need to score touchdowns too, though.
You can score touchdowns. Y'all have people to score touchdowns. You need people to stop people from scoring, and you need people to stop your quarterback from looking up at the clouds. That's what you need.
So you want to do this. So what are the names of the two guys you got there? I know one of them is like I said, Bain or something. I mean,
Desmond Bain. Take him. It don't matter.
They like him because he's fast. Kind of. But what's the other one? They said the other one's not too shabby either.
I don't know who the other one is, and it really don't matter what his name is.
That's your team, man. How do you not know your team?
Oh, you talking about the other guy on the other side?
Yeah.
Oh, what is his name? I can't think of his name right now.
It's okay. I can't remember. I can't remember all of Vanderbilt's players either. I'm just messing with you.
It's after 10:30. But no, you take the Miami University player. That's what you do. That's a smart move.
Hold on. Okay, so I got to jump back for a second. All right, Chili, you got me. The Skyscrapers are the best tag team in wrestling besides the teams in AEW? Who are the Skyscrapers now? I know who they were.
There's a new Skyscrapers tag team?
Apparently.
Why? Why is that?
I don't know, but I don't know who they are. Come on, Ralph, where you at when I need you, buddy? Come on.
Why are people playing with wrestling history like this?
Julie, my friend that is in pro wrestling in West Virginia, actually got injured. He's an indie wrestler. Yeah, indie wrestlers get hurt all the time, Julie, because they do silly stuff they shouldn't be doing. I'm sorry, but they do. They're trying to impress. They're trying to impress people, in a larger place.
Sweet and nice to you, and this is how you talk about her and her friends.
I'm not talking that.
She has been nothing
Julie,
but supportive of
Julie. Julie, you tell this guy I am a nice person to you. I do not mistreat you and talk to you bad anyway. I'm just being. I'm not being not supportive or anything.
Every week, despite of you being here, she shows up every week to support us.
I'm the reason why she shows up here. I'm the entertainment.
Julie likes looking at this beautiful face. Is what she likes.
Where? Hold on. You didn't have to talk about me that way, but I appreciate it, Ray. I mean, thank
you.
Mr. KS. Mr. KS. I'm sorry. KS. That's like kayfabe got broke all over again, didn't it?
Never say another man looks good. I don't know what you're talking about, sir. That is not in my DNA.
Don't make me break up my DMs you sent me earlier.
You break them out because we don't talk about nothing but wrestling and football.
Ishmael, that's Darby Allen doing stupid stuff. Yeah, Darby does stupid stuff too sometimes. Corbin, and I can't think of his name in NXT. So Corbin,
is it Desmond Damon something Buyer something?
So Corbin, is he talking about the one that was teaming with Breaker when he was down there in NXT? That Corbin?
Yeah, Baron Corbin. Yeah.
So Baron Corbin and somebody else are the Skyscrapers.
Oh, Dijak.
Donovan Dijak. I don't know. That's a name I've heard before.
Yeah, that's who he's talking about as Corbin's tag team. I seen the clip of them being. I didn't know they were called the Skyscrapers, but I know they were tag teaming.
Okay.
Why? They should not be calling themselves the Skyscrapers, though. They are not on that level, bro.
I probably would have preferred them having a different name too.
Yeah, be original, bro. We can't keep renaming people's old names. Be original.
For next thing you know, someone's going to try and call themselves the Road Warriors again or something.
Oh God, that's blasphemy. I hope Hawk and Animal come back from the dead and beat the shit out of both of them.
Draws jumps up out of the wheelchair. smacks them around a little bit.
So we've gone because it's a year of review or whatever you want to call it. We've gone a long time. So let's go out with this right here for the top three, and let's just say for argument's sake, the top three are TNA, WWE. And when I say WWE, I mean all of WWE, NXT, anybody affiliated with WWE,
Just a WWE product in general. SmackDown,
and,
Raw, NXT.
and AAA if you want to throw them in there. Um, what do you see? What do you see for 2026, or what do you hope to see in 2026 from AEW, from WWE, from TNA?
From I'll just jump to AEW first just to get it out of the way. Just to get it out of the way. I feel like they got better as 2025 went along doing some of their storylines they did. Not all of them, but some of them. I would like to see them continue to spread out on that and get better at all of their storylines they're putting on television for us and not just focus on a couple of good ones and three or four crappy ones. I can deal with a crappy storyline if the wrestling is good, and that's why I'm able to watch a lot of it because I like a lot of the matches and the wrestlers. But I would like to see them get a little bit more better because if they get better in that, that helps you become more competitive, and I would like to see that out of them. WWE, I I know what I want to see. Whether I will see it or not is another story. But the man will be coming back soon, and when he does, they claim some. I say they. These people out there that write crap all the time claim that he's out for a little bit, and this is going to be his time now. That's why Jey Uso's gone back to tag team wrestling and everything. That LA Knight will finally get his little push he's going to get and get a possible title run there, and blah blah blah. And I don't know, but I would like to see that. I'd like to see that more than anything. Otherwise, I don't see WWE taking any back steps. They very rarely do, unless they do what I read the other day. I read the other day that they're talking again about, and they bring this up like 800 times a year about the Saudi people buying the company again.
God,
If that ever does happen, I'm not saying it's going to because they just I bring it up because they talk about it all the time. If that happens, I think it's not going to be good. I don't think it's going to last if that happens. So hopefully that does not happen that way. Um,
I don't think that's going to happen, and if it does happen, it won't be no time soon.
and Impact Wrestling, if they continue the steady path they're on, they're going to do nothing but get better as well. And I think it's going to be a neck and neck run with them and AEW through 2026. And whoever puts forth the best effort, the smartest moves, is going to be there to end. And I'll have to wonder. The one thing I wonder about AEW is, the whole thing with their TV, TV rights. No, are they going to continue the rest of the year on the channels they're on, or are they losing those networks? Someone
I,
said earlier in the year they might lose them networks after that one purchase that was made.
those networks were not part of the purchase.
Okay, so they wasn't part of the purchase. They should be okay with that then.
All they got was HBO Max and the content on HBO Max. That's
And
pretty
see,
much what
look at Julie there. She wants to see LA Knight get a push. See, I told you.
well,
She comes here to listen to me. I told you.
bless her little pea picking heart.
Stop it. Ray, TNA needs to throw WWE to the curb. I'm assuming it means curb. Um, and AEW needs to keep being the best company. I like them, Ray. I'm not doubting you. I like them.
WWE needs to get
I
better.
do like them.
First of all, well,
Impact Wrestling. Everybody knows what it is, man. Don't give me no grief. Everybody knows it's TNA.
my first thing I want to see happen in 2026 is I want for Ray Phillips to join us here on Earth. I want him I want him to get his brain to working the way wrestling works. I don't know what is wrong with this man. Brain rehab is what I hope for Ray Phillips. Brain rehab. As far as AEW go, I'm gonna go through each company and I'm just gonna say one thing they need to do and one thing they don't need to do to move forward. AW needs to stop booking by the seat of their pants, and they need to develop, find, and stick to structure. They need to find structure, not necessarily the typical wrestling blueprint, but they need to find some sort of structure because all these tournaments, all these belts, all these announcements, all these random happenings that it seemed like somebody came up with the idea 10 minutes before the show went on and they trying to figure out how to make it happen. That's not helping. That's hurting it. That's hurting the good stuff. Goes back to what I said before. You got sometimes they're not in a position to where all they good stuff is outweighing the bad stuff. They're not there yet. Um, TNA. I think I agree with you a little bit when they about as far as the WWE crossover stuff. I don't think they need to do it as much. I think they need to use one or two NXT people or WWE, whatever we want to call them, to elevate the TNA people, and they just need to keep doing what they're doing and don't fall into the trap of I need to make do something spectacular to get attention because that don't always work. And the
Can I
second
say,
thing,
can I say one thing about the TNA real quick? You were talking about about right there. The one thing I don't want to see with them though is becoming dependent on the
that's
NXT people
that's what
coming over.
that's what I'm saying. It's just
Yeah,
use them to one or two people not do it as much, make it meaningful,
right.
big, but we don't need to see them all the time.
Mm.
The second thing they need to do is either find two way because they have stars, but they don't have a superstar. So they either find a superstar in free agent or sign somebody that's contractors up somewhere else and make them a superstar, or make somebody that they already have on the roster into the superstar. And when I say superstar, I mean like the face of the company. Because right now you can pick two to three different people as the face of the company. They need to find one definitive face of the company. Somebody's. You look at that person, that's TNA right there.
If you take somebody who's currently there, who would you make it?
Hmm. They had their chance with Mike Santana. They really did. I think he lost the belt too quick. Um, I would have said Joe Hendry, but Joe Hendry is not that type of person that you can put on as the face of the company. That's
He's
not what
not
I
there
mean.
anymore.
Well, and I know he's not there. I'm talking about when he was there. They could have did it, even when they made him the champion. Which to me, that was like putting the title on R-Truth. To be honest with you, I don't know. It's hard to say because everybody's so much on a level playing field. Mustafa Ali is too small in my opinion. Um, if you can get AJ Francis from doing the goofy stuff he doing, he's a big enough person. He's got the personality. He could do it, but it would take a lot of commitment on his part. He would have to stop doing a whole lot of the outside stuff.
Do you think Matt Riddle would be a good fit there?
He'd be a good fit. I don't think he'd be the guy I would push to be the top star.
Because that's what they're doing in MLW with him. They had him as top star in MLW, so
Well,
for a minute at least.
that's where he can be a top star.
That's why I'm asking you about Impact or TNA, if you want to call it that. Oh, that's if he thought he could be the
I,
guy
I
in a
think I
company like
think
TNA.
I would get behind Moose. I would get behind Moose.
Yeah, he could be good.
He's got the personality. He's big enough. He looks like a champion. He looks like $1 million. I would change his gear. I think somebody that big should not be wrestling in tights. I think you put him in long tights or come up with some type of different wardrobe for him. But yeah, I would
Give
pick
him a
Moose.
onesie like Big E had.
I wouldn't do that. I would not do that. But yeah, I think TNA needs to come find a definitive star, somebody that can be the face of the company, and they'd be on their way. As far as WWE goes, look, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell a company they doing something wrong when they're making billions and billions of dollars and they selling out shows, right? Um,
But yet we
but
can point some things out. We can tell them is wrong. It
you,
just wouldn't matter because they can
yeah,
recover from it with something else.
yeah, that's that whole thing. Like I said, they're in a position where they can do certain stuff, and it wouldn't matter because they still gonna get paid. Um, what I would do going into 2026, you got this crop of new people coming in NXT. Put I I wouldn't bring anybody up unless you had a definitive plan for them. Like you got to have something for them for the next 2 to 3 months to do. What you call it? Like I need Trick. I need you to have something for if Trick Williams gonna be up there and you're gonna bring them in and you're gonna put them on the roster. Have something for him to do for the first 2 to 3 months. Same with Jordan Grace. Same where they got something for Javon Evans. It looked like Trick is going. Who's Trick interrupting? Sami Zayn. Look
Yeah,
like Trick's
give me a
gonna be
thing.
dealing with Sami Zayn, so that's cool. Um, but yeah, just don't just put him up there. Find something. I don't want Matt Cardona to be back just to be having random matches on TV and to be, getting beat up by the MFTs. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna
You know
put him, if
what? So while you brought that up, what do you see Matt Cardona doing there? I
I
mean,
see him
where do
doing
you?
just, that's exactly what I'm afraid he's gonna be doing. He's gonna be there for the. He's gonna get the little 2 month. Okay, it's cool. He's back, but you know, here's what could happen if LA Knight is gone. Is LA Knight gonna be on? He's gonna be on Raw, right?
Supposed to be on Raw, yes, but they've jumped him back and forth on Raw and SmackDown. He
Cardona
he's
could
been he's
take.
been one of them people.
He could take LA Knight's spot on the roster. He can slide in that to that position, which is a not a bad position for LA Knight. I mean for Matt Cardona. It's not a bad. That's not a bad spot to be in.
And
Just
don't forget what I said about some of the fans out there. Some of the fans out there they want to see an LA Knight and
look,
Zack Ryder, combination. They want to call it the Knight Rider. However, since he changed his name to Cardona now for the show, since they gave him that name change there, I don't think they can do that anymore. But
if I can make a prediction for WWE, I'm not gonna try to predict anything in AEW, and I'm not gonna try to predict anything in TNA. Um, for WWE, Roman Reigns will be world champion again. Okay, and an early prediction: Braun Breaker will take that title off of CM Punk. I'm calling it right now.
is he going to take it on that this
Yes,
upcoming Monday?
yes.
It's a bold prediction for this upcoming Monday.
Hey, we going bold in 2026, bro.
I don't know that he gets it that quick on him.
Look, I'm fair,
No, okay. Is he getting it clean or is he getting it with help of the
I
Vision?
don't know. I don't know if he's getting it clean or with the help, but I'm just saying he's getting it. And on that note, speaking of going bold in 2026, I appreciate everybody coming to the channel, coming to the page, and all the interaction and all that stuff. I want to take it to the next level. I want more interaction. I want the same energy every like we got tonight. Every time we do a show. So um, I'm gonna be doing my best to make this better and to just have more fun on the shows, different topics, not always a review or just better discussion where we can have such interaction like we did tonight. So again, appreciate you last year. You stepped in when asshole was here and we got rid of asshole. We got a likable
Look, don't
asshole.
don't be talking about Rob like that, man. Come on.
I'm not talking about Rob. We got a likable asshole. We don't have someone who's just being an asshole for the sake of being an asshole. We got a likable asshole on the show now. And that's cool. So I
When his
appreciate you.
account's not blocked, that is.
Yeah, well, I wasn't talking about Rob. I was talking about the other guy.
I know you're talking about.
Okay, okay. But but yeah, man. Like I said, appreciate everybody that was just been supporting us and been riding with us, and we'll try to do better in 2026. With that being said, sir, thank you for coming on here tonight. We're gonna do this again, not next week, but week after next, because we do show every 2 weeks now, so we don't get burnt out with this shit, because it will burn you the fuck out. As much as we love wrestling, sometimes you need a break from
I
talking
mean,
about it.
it depends on what you're talking before you get burnt out. I mean, some people have been known to go 4 years straight, week to week doing a show.
I'm one of
Some
them.
I'm just saying,
I'm one of them. But, no, it's all good. Um, yeah, we'll be back, and next time we on the show, man, we're gonna try to do better. 2026. With that being said, sorry, thank you for coming on here tonight. We'll try to do better in 2026. With that being said, sir, thank you for we'll see if we. I'm pretty sure my prediction will come true. We'll be talking about a new world champion. His name will be Braun Breaker.
So I'm gonna go. You're gonna say he's gonna get it Monday. I'm gonna go on the limb and say he's not gonna get it Monday because I don't. I think it's too quick. I think it's gonna be at a pay per view, not on a Monday Night Raw that it happens.
You forget this is not something else to happen in
It's not a.
2025.
It's not a
This
typical Raw, but I mean,
this is Raw on Netflix now, so
still.
it's different.
I
It's
know, but
different.
still, that's what I'm going to say though. I'm going to say not on in a weekly episode. It's going to be at a pay per view of some sort. That's
It's
what I'm going to say.
just like last year. Raw on Netflix was a special event. I think every first Raw every year on Netflix because now it's going to be it's an anniversary show now. It's going to be almost like a Saturday night's main event or PLE. That's he's getting it on Monday. We'll see. We'll see.
How many Saturday night main events do we see a major title change on?
Potato, potato,
See,
tomato, potato,
yeah,
tomato, potato, whatever.
you can't even say the word, man. You bye, everybody.
Fire. I am Mr. KS. That is Chris. Don't forget to catch Chris on his Retro for Life for You podcast about just the best time in movies. Some 70s, mostly 80s, the
In
greatest time,
90s.
and 90s. Just the greatest time to be a movie buff. Um, something one of your things came up. I forgot it was a lady. I forgot the movie I was doing, but it just came across my feed, across my Instagram feed for some reason.
A lady. Was it Rebecca Tickell?
She
Talking
had
about
a
Prancer,
yeah,
and yeah,
yes.
talking about Prancer and her documentaries that she'd done. Yeah,
So you're getting a lot of pub out there in the algorithm, sir.
that's good.
Congratulations.
I like hearing that. I need to get more out there.
All right, sir. So yeah, we'll see you in 2 weeks when you can tell me I'm right and how much of a wrestling Nostradamus I am.
We shall see.
I'm
We
Mr.
shall see.
KS. That is Chris. Thanks for watching. We are out.